anymore.
What a mess. It's funny that Eli held on to that. I forgot all about it. Oh, sorry, guys. The stream dropped, and we just started again. I didn't even realize it. What a mess. Okay, Jesse. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. We're back. Sometimes this stuff happens. It happened to Jesse a few times today. What a mess. Where the stream dropped, and then we started again. Okay. Hopefully it's staying. Hang on, Jesse. Okay.
Oh, no problem.
I think we're okay again. Okay, go for it, man. Last word for you. Oh, man.
Yeah, but pretty much, yeah, I think it's pretty much a mess, though, man. There's nothing good that comes out of it. Because, like, the parents are smoking with their kids now, and it's like, next thing you know, now they're down to letting kids having sex in their house, and it just pretty much opens up the, world for corruption.
Yeah.
And like I see single mothers now, they're like in the cars where I live, they're like rolling blunts in the car with the babies in the back seat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Bad example.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, take care, man. I'll let you guys go.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Take care.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Yeah, I think we dropped entirely. It's a totally different YouTube stream even, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. What a mess. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, guys, we dropped at about an hour and 26 minutes of streaming, after an hour and 26 minutes of streaming, and we are back live again. Apologies for the buffering. Hopefully it's good now. Press 1 if you hear me great. Press 2 if you don't hear me at all, which you wouldn't be able to press 2 because you wouldn't hear me at all. Press 3 if it's buffering but getting better. Press 4 if it's buffering but not getting better. But you heard this. Man, what a mess. But it's only fair that it would happen to me since it happened to Jesse Lee like a few times. Man. I see that on Periscope it seems to be buffering kind of badly. Apologies, guys. Apologies. I talked about Joe Rogan and he's getting back at me. Are we back? Are we back? Everybody fine? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? 1, press 1 if it's great. Press 2 if it's awful. Still. 1 if it's great, 2 if it's still buffering and a mess. It's not just YouTube censoring. It is, yeah, it's an entirely new stream. I am back on Facebook, but I'm still seeing lost connection every now and then on Periscope. Can you tell if anything is sketchy on our end? Because I'm seeing lost connection, trying to reconnect, lost connection. I'm seeing ones in the chat. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. 3s. Dropped again, says Jib Jab. What a shame. 65%, what's that mean?
That's supposed to be...
That's normal?
No.
Okay. That's not good.
Yeah, that's supposed to be... Oh, well, why am I telling you?
You can. I mean, kind of anyway, interesting.
It's supposed to say okay, and it's not.
Oh,
so
okay.
That means...
All right.
Still being worked
Let me
out.
talk about something that's unimportant then. So at least I carry on with the show, but if you miss it, at least, let's say, I don't know, I don't have nothing unimportant to say. Or everything I say is unimportant. Hake should say, that's what you heathens get instead of, sorry guys. So says Brindle. Is it getting hot? Is it hot in here? It's hot in here. It's miserable. I'm dripping. Oh, man. Can we turn on the AC? Is Jesse Lee out? It's terrible. 2s. I am seeing some I think that maybe it's all the heat and humidity that's hurting the computers, but it may not even honestly be on our end. Do you think it's on our end or theirs? Restreams. Hard to say. Okay. Goes for almost a minute and then it goes back out, says Steven. Trovo sticks, says Dan East. No, I think it's affecting everything. Heat could be choking us in the stream out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Choking us out and the stream. Elon Musk's Starlink just shared our bandwidth for free with 6 Nigerian princes, the entire rest of the world, says Mo Betta Stand Up. So edgy. Okay. How does it look? You that open so that too. That's better, right?
No, that's worse.
Oh, yikes. It's supposed to say okay?
Yeah.
It's supposed to, wow. And how about the 3.13, 3.14?
That's normal.
Okay. Interesting. So it's supposed to be 0%, and which is okay?
I don't know what percentage, but the higher is not.
Higher percentage is not. I'll tell you one thing. The AC is making me feel much better. Yeah, it's still buffering. What a shame. And it's probably boring for the listeners who are listening. Talking about the same thing. You know. Yeah, in the meantime, let me see if I can tell you guys this story. Wow, yeah, I'm jumping in the Periscope. It's terrible. I told you about that.
The worst.
That's the worst. Jeez. Yeah, I'm jumping around. Anyway. Brett and Eich. Because we're still recording. I'll have to put out the entire show off of the recording. Using Connect. Brendan Eich, I told you guys about. He had donated that he'd voted for Prop 8, 2008 and 8. And also he donated to Pat Robertson. I kind of hate to tell this story when I know that it's all breaking up terribly. Big time stream issue. Why is Piers Morgan Britain? I'm changing. What does Morgan do? What does Piers Morgan have anything to do with the Harry and Meghan Markle thing? Cash says full. Beta stream. This is, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Someone get Bill. Good Hair is picking up static. We should be playing Soul Junk to this with the glitchy sounds. It's all messed up. I don't want to tell this story. Prop 8. It's awful. Full saying. That's bad? It's not good. It's not buffering, but you're choppy. Type in speed test in Google and test your internet. Speed test. Run speed test. 30, 37, 38, 39, 42, 0, 8, 17, 18. Lost connection. This is terrible. Just lost 200 chatters. Internet speed test 47 megabytes per second download, 19 megabytes per second upload, latency 9 milliseconds, server Los Angeles. Your connection, let me see. We just started going once again, guys. Let me see if this is going. Hey, come back. Let me see this. We are live on all platforms except for Twitch, which should be connecting shortly, guys. This is, I think, the part 3. What a mess. Press 1 if you see and hear me great. Press 1 if you see and hear me great. It says okay, so I think it is. What a mess. Okay. All right, guys. We stopped and restarted, and it should be fine now. I'm seeing a lot of ones. Thank you. We'll see how long this lasts. It should be fine. For a minute so far. Been okay for a minute so far. Thank you. Okay. So I was going to tell you about Prop 8 before we got so rudely interrupted. Prop 8 was a 2008 California proposition that I told you about yesterday that, according to Wikipedia, and I remember this incident, Brendan Eich supported. Brendan Eich designed the computer programming language known as JavaScript. JavaScript, and this is interesting. JavaScript, FYI, alongside HTML and CSS, JavaScript is, according to Wikipedia, one of the core technologies of the World Wide Web, which was invented by that wooden face guy. JavaScript enables interactive web pages and is an essential part of web applications. So this inventor, this computer programming language designer, Brendan Eich, invented that in 1995. Then he co-founded the Mozilla project. This is Brendan Eich. White guy, chunky. Looks like a nice guy. He co-founded Mozilla project in 1998, the Mozilla Foundation in 2003, and the Mozilla Corporation in 2005. And then, in 2014, the Rhino outlet Wall Street Journal reported that in protest of his coming appointment as CEO of Mozilla, half of Mozilla's board, Gary Kovacs, John Lilly, Ellen Siminoff, stepped down because there was a controversy that came out in 2012 that he had donated to this Prop 8 thing. Prop 8 says marriages between one man and one woman. Most Californians supported it. It got passed. So it's a popular measure at the time. Then it got overturned by the Supreme Court. But I don't think it was ever honored by the Democrats who control California or the Rhinos. Leaving Mitchell Backer, who's a woman, Reid Hoffman, and Katarina Bochert as on the board. CNET later reported that 3 of the board members who left, out of those 3, only John Lilly was due to Eich's appointment. Lilly said to the New York Slimes, I left rather than appoint him. Declined to elaborate. March 26, 2014, Eich expressed sorrow for causing pain. By what? Donating to Prop 8, 6 years ago? And 6 years before, right? And pledged to work with LGBT communities and allies. Allies, so-called. And allies is such a dirty word. Ally to the black community. Ally to the LGBTQ community. Means allies for SJWs, social justice warriors. Such a dirty word, it makes me question the origin of the word, right? Because I think that allies was a reference to World War II allies. The United States, UK, and others, right? Some of the activists created an online campaign against Eich with an online dating site, OkCupid. I remember this, OkCupid. Automatically displaying a message to inform Firefox users about Eich's donation and suggesting they switch to a different browser. They wanted to ban Firefox, deplatform Firefox. Credo Mobile collected more than 50,000 signatures demanding Eich resign. After 11 days as CEO, Eich resigned on April 3rd, 2014, and left Mozilla over his opposition to same-sex marriage. In his personal blog, he said, under present circumstances, I cannot be an effective leader. Well, that's true, because all of the people who, or the squeaky wheels in your company, don't support what's right, they support evil. Mozilla made a press release saying board members tried to get Eich to stay in the company in a different role, but he chose to sever ties for the time being. I told you he is now CEO of Brave software. They make a thing called Brave. It's a web browser, right? 2020, during the COVID pandemic, this Brendan Eich guy, he denied the effectiveness of face masks and lockdowns in combating the transmission of COVID and said the U.S. top immunologist, Anthony Fauci, lies a lot. And I think that's true. He's a Hillary Clinton fanboy, after all, as he is a Rachel Maddow fanboy, sparking calls for his removal from Brave on the social media. But it was crazy. I remember this from 2014. I was producer for the Jesse Lee Peterson show. He chose to step down after less than 2 weeks on the job, according to Ms. Mitchell Baker, executive chairman, female chairman of Mozilla Foundation, which owns the company. We know why a lot of people are hurt and angry, because this guy donated $1,000 to Prop 8, right? Prop 8, which bans same-sex marriage, right? Because it's not a real thing. Same-sex marriage does not exist. It's not a real marriage. You can't have real sex. You can't have kids. It's not a real marriage. Common sense says it. You don't even need the Bible to know that homosexuality is wrong. It's because we haven't stayed true to ourselves, says Baker. People are right to be hurt and angry. Mitchell Baker, it's a woman. We didn't act like you would expect Mozilla to act. We didn't move fast enough to engage with people once the controversy started. We're sorry. Caving to the mob, coward. We must do better. Eich was announced as Mozilla's new CEO on the 24th of March of 2014. April 4th, gone. April 4th, gone. Just 11 days. Over a $1,000 donation he made in support as a private citizen of Prop 8. Crazy. It was 2011? No, I think it was 2008. It was 2008, not 2011. I guess it was revealed in 2011. Oh, by the way, it was also revealed, I bet you might not have known this, that he made campaign contributions in past years to so-called fringe Republicans, which means just based in truth Republicans for the most part, such as Pat Buchanan. This guy, Brendan Eich, had donated to the great Pat Buchanan. JLP spoke before Pat Buchanan's vice presidential running mate. He announced Pat Buchanan's vice presidential running mate years ago, back at the convention, one of the political conventions. Yeah, you can't do what you please anymore. You can't even do what's right anymore, honestly. That's what it really is. You can't do what's right, but you can't do what you please. He had once said in relation to the AIDS crisis that our promiscuous homosexuals appear literally hell-bent on Satanism and suicide, Pat Buchanan had said. And so that's meant to discredit Pat Buchanan, right? He once claimed that homosexuals have declared war on nature, and now nature is exacting an awful retribution. He said that about AIDS. And that's true. It's true. Pat Buchanan was just a basic, down-to-earth, common-sense, conservative man. I think he's considered a paleocon, because he's not into our foreign work. Eich told The Guardian earlier this week he would not resign. I agree with people who say it wasn't private, but it was personal. It was a personal donation. But the principle I have operated by is formalized in our code of conduct at Mozilla. It's about keeping anything that's not central to our mission out of our office. And it was. He never brought his, he never pushed morals on people. In fact, if anything, this guy was too nice. Honestly. If I stopped doing that, I would be wrong. I would be doing wrong to the code of conduct because they believe in inclusiveness, right? Not inclusive to Christians, though. Normal, ordinary Christians. No Christian supports this stuff. No Christian supports this stuff. This radical homosexuality madness. Because it's to the detriment of them themselves and to society. However, Baker told Recode in an interview earlier on Thursday this was no longer the case. It's clear that Brendan cannot lead Mozilla in this setting. The ability to lead, particularly for CEO, is fundamental to the role, and that's not possible. It's crazy because people inside the company backstabbed this guy. They were tweeting about it, and just a mess. This Chris McAvoy. There were members of the LGBTQ tech community. I didn't know there was an LGBTQ tech community. What a mess. Open Badges lead at Mozilla, Chris McAvoy, tweeted, "I love Mozilla, but I'm disappointed this week. Mozilla stands for openness and empowerment, but is acting the opposite way. By letting a Christian man be a Christian and be the CEO, he invented JavaScript. And now he invented Brave. He co-founded Mozilla, and he's kicked out of his own thing that he co-founded. Jess Klein, another woman, probably not a Christian, have waited too long to say this. I'm an employee of Mozilla, and I'm asking Brendan Eich to step down as CEO. John Bevan, another guy at Mozilla. I'm an employee of Mozilla, and I'm asking Brendan Eich to step down as CEO. Evil, huh? Lynch mob. Evil. A design researcher / journalist, Emily Goligoski. To me, Mozilla is about openness and expression of freedom. I hope to see us have leadership that represents those values in their actions. That's not openness and freedom to kick out this guy. It's not. But they're backwards people. Mozilla's head of education, Christy Kohler, said, like a lot of people, she wrote a blog post, I was disappointed when I found out Brendan had donated to the anti-marriage equality, which is a buzzword, right? There's no such thing as marriage equality. Marriage is real or it's fake, and homosexual marriage is fake. Marriage equality Prop 8 campaign, anti-marriage equality Prop 8 campaign in California. It's hard for me to think of a scenario where someone could donate to that campaign without feeling that queer folks are less deserving of basic rights. So she's a blind person. They have their basic rights. Marriage is a right between a man and a woman. It frustrates me when people use their economic power to further enshrine and institutionalize discrimination. Yeah, discrimination based on reality. But she said certainly it would be problematic if Brendan's behavior within Mozilla was explicitly discriminatory or implicitly so in the form of repeated microaggressions. They were using these terms back then even. I haven't personally seen this, although to be clear, I was not part of his structure until today. On the contrary, over the years, I've watched Brendan be an ally. Ally, there's that buzzword. In many areas, meaning he was too nice. Bringing clarity and leadership when needed. So anyway, it goes on and on and on. There is this homosexual couple who founded this platform called Rarebit, or some app called Rarebit. And they're a quote-unquote married gay couple, Hampton Catlin and Michael Lintorn Catlin. And they wrote, today, Michael has a green card, and we're able to pursue this venture in the United States. These days, I'm so he said damn, so damn proud of my country for making all this possible. It's really stunning the support we've received, and thank you to everyone who have either changed their own minds on this subject or convinced a relative or friend. And that's how they do it, right? They brainwash people through their emotional guilting, that there is nothing wrong with the government recognizing our relationship. Thank you. The overturning of Prop 8 literally was a foundation that allowed us to start this venture. That's why it's personal for us. Brendan Eich was an active supporter of denying our right to be married. No, he wasn't. Because you can marry a woman. That's what it is. That's what marriage is. And even start this business. He actively took steps to ensure that Rarebit couldn't exist. That's that thing that they invented. It's so phony. Such twisted non-logic, not logical people. And that's who's running the country now. They've changed it so badly that a popular Prop 8, popular proposition that said marriage is real marriage, it's not fake marriage, that passed, is now grounds for not allowing a founder to be CEO. Ridiculous. Anyway, took place 6-7 years ago. Ian in Martinez, California, in the last few minutes here. What's up, Ian? How are you?
The Eich report.
Hey.
Never apologize for being white.
Nice. True.
Shout out to you, dude, and all people there, the whole crew.
Right on, man. I'm glad you hung with us. We had a rough time. We had a rough patch there. We weren't able to stream out to you guys.
Yeah, no, I've been hanging on though, dude, as loyal as a Marine can be, always faithful.
Nice. Oh, you're a Marine, aren't you?
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, it's good to hear from you again.
Yeah, so I wanted to channel off Keith from Illinois.
Yeah.
Talking about coming to America. Dude, Vikings, I don't know if you know anything about Vikings, the series that just ended last year, December of 2020.
Okay.
It ended the same exact way. The creators had it end the very last episode with 2 queens in charge of all Norway.
Wow.
The whole country of Norway back then.
Such feminist propaganda. So Coming to America Part 2, which came out, well, back in the early 90s or 80s in the original, and then the Coming to America Part 2, the Amazon version that came out just this year, has a woman beating up a whole army with sticks. And now the Vikings series turned all feminist and had 2 women running Norway. Is that even historically accurate?
Yeah,
maybe that's why Vikings don't really exist too much today, if it's true.
Yeah, right? That's one reason.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, Brandon Johnson.
I mean, you can like if you buy the Blu-ray or the DVD, you can watch the bonus features.
Okay.
And the guy that created it said it's based on history.
Wow.
But that's in the first couple seasons. This was season 6, the very last season. So
they became more subversive and less historically accurate or naturally accurate.
Yeah, so I don't know about the last season. I have to check it out for myself. Personal research, right? Nowadays.
Right.
But not only were they queens, but they were witches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how they were depicted, because the one queen was rightfully the queen through marriage.
Okay.
And then the second queen, the rightful queen appointed, because there was nothing by a bloodline and there was nothing by marriage.
Yeah.
So she appointed her fellow witch, bro.
Wow. That's evil.
Yeah, I was like, witch? Wait, witches? What? It's bad enough you appoint 2 queens.
Yeah. But witches on top of that. It's terrible. Man.
Yeah, because I was getting into it too. Because as far as the Kings and the raids that they went on were fairly accurate. You know, it depicts Eric the Red, the famous Viking, Ragnar Lothbrok, his brother Rollo Lothbrok, and his 5 sons.
Yeah.
Ragnar had 5 sons.
Okay. By different women, right?
2 different women.
Okay, just 2.
He had
wow.
He had 1 son by his first wife, and then he had 4 sons by his second wife.
Okay. I think I might have seen some episodes of this. Was one of the sons kind of lame, and then he turned kind of evil?
Yeah, they called him crippled back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That is.
Yeah, he was. His name was Ivar the Boneless. He was paralyzed. He was born paralyzed from the nuts down.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, so he couldn't have kids.
And were they Christians? Did some of them become Christians?
Yeah, some of them converted.
Yeah, and then some of them turned like full-blown witches, which wasn't normal. Vikings weren't witches, were they? They were just pagans.
They believed it. Yeah, they believed in their own gods, like Thor.
Right.
And they believed in going to Valhalla. They believed that the gods were right next to you.
Okay.
They would call their gods the gods. You know, it's not like
right.
Christians like we are.
Yeah.
What the?
Confusing, man. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. What a mess. I mean, what do you expect, honestly? That's the entertainment world today, just promoting kissing up to women. I told you about we're overtime. Can I end? Thank you, Ian. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the tips. Good to hear from you. And thanks for the spoiler. Some people hadn't seen it yet, but it's all right. Take care, man.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care. Bye. Can you play that last clip of Joe Biden forgetting the name? I can relate to this. Joe Biden forgot the name of Lloyd Austin, whom he appointed to the Defense Department, and he's announcing these women that he's putting the second and third women to be 4-star commanders, general, whatever that. Listen to this, Joe Biden, and then we'll end the show.
So I want to thank you both, and I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there. I want to make sure we thank the secretary for all he's done to try to implement what we just talked about, and for recommending these two women for promotion. Thank you all.
The black guy.
May God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Don't invoke God, you fake. I think those are the 4-star general women, or they're trying to make them 4-star or something. I don't get it. And there's Kamala, phony Kamala, just a bunch of mess.
Thank you, everybody.
International Women's Day. Thanks, guys. TheHakeReport.com for my stuff. JesseLeePeterson.com for JLP stuff. Take care.
What?